The ball's taken out. Now which way to look. Oh, gee! A Geelong player's gone down behind the
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Sports Cooler, your sports show of the weird and wonderful in the wide world of sport.
Gone very Eurotrash.
Yes, James, how are we today? No, not a...
It's just Anton de Con Eurotrash style, that is.
Hello, my little baby. Babies.
Welcome to my...
No, not where we want to go?
No, I don't think so, no.
James, we've got a new setup tonight. So
we're going to have some two giraffes just going across the screen.
Two eggheads. Yeah. Hello. Nobody in this country knows what Eurotrash is,
no,
by the way.
No, they don't.
How it got through a 14-year-old through a Saturday night.
Yeah. I think Friday nights, but yeah.
Was it Friday?
Yeah. YouTube it. YouTube Eurotrash. Antoine de Con. Enlightening.
So we're trying a new setup with two mics.
Yes.
To see if we can make the sound a bit better. So if it balls us up, I take full responsibility.
We'll give it a go.
Yeah, sure.
We'll give it a go.
Anyway, I'm Andy Hayes.
And I'm James Blackwell.
And you're listening to the Sports Cooler.
I'm watching.
And watching. We're back.
So if you are watching, subscribe. Click on the link that should be on the screen somewhere. Twitter is @SportingMadAU. Like us, follow us on there. Facebook is SportingMad. Like us and follow us on there too. Lots of content gets posted throughout the week. Not so much the last few days, but generally throughout the week we get a lot.
Why is that, James? Why did it not get posted in the last few days?
I've been bulimic for the last few days.
You just a sudden dose of bulimia?
sudden onset of bulimia. But I'll tell you what, it's helped me out. 3.5 kilos lost in.
It's in the face.
Yeah.
You lost it in the face. I've found it.
Yeah,
I found your 3.5 kilos.
It's good. I'm as I said to you earlier on, I'm empty. There is absolutely nothing left in me.
Yes, they were your words today. I'm empty. Always a pleasure to see that sign.
Purged. But the podcast will also be available on iTunes, so you can subscribe us and get us all the things on there.
Yep. Leave a review if you could. That would really be quite helpful.
Positive review.
I'll take anything at this point. Just
constructive criticism.
Yeah, okay, we'll take that. Constructive criticism, please.
Right, we are a sports show. Let's move on from Eurotrash and bulimia and
okay, Jams. Let's move on.
Well, big event from the weekend was the Ashes.
Yes,
big non-event from the weekend was the Ashes.
It was bloody.
Look,
what a weird summer of cricket.
It's been a strange series where the tests have lasted 3 or 4 days. That one team has collapsed in each game, and the other team's bowlers just torn through the top order, and it just seems.
Well, it's bizarre, is what it is.
It's bizarre, and
it doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
I saw a few things posted. Is it the death of Test cricket? Is it the death of the Ashes? Is it this that the players are so used to playing 2020 now? And
I had a good conversation with someone at the weekend who basically said, it's just the Australians in particular have to hold on to their players. So if you're going to, like David Warner as an example, if he's going to play cricket for Australia, then he should be playing cricket for Australia. He should not be going and playing IPL cricket and, traveling around the world playing Caribbean IPL.
Well, that's the thing, there's the Caribbean
all
one
these
now,
things. He plays for Australia and they pay him enough money. I understand that it's an earnings thing, but the Australians pay him enough money to become a test cricketer.
Yeah. And
that's what they should be doing.
Yeah.
I don't think it was the death of cricket. I tell you what, though, the Ashes needs a break.
Well, there's been the intense period. They know they condense it down because of the World Cup. They've ended up rescheduling it, so we don't get another one now until 3 years. I think it's 2018, 2019. I think, but then we get the. Is it not 2017, 2018? So it's 2.5 years away. Is the next series? Yeah.
Which is good, and I think by the time that rolls around. It'll be a better thing.
Yeah, hopefully some of the Australian old guard have moved on as well.
Well,
Let's be honest, they've like there's two retired. Rogers
Clark has gone.
and
Rogers
Clark,
is gone. Watson doesn't look like he's going to hang around. Haddon doesn't look like he'll hang around.
There needs to be the new blood and new impetus and build from there. But,
this is the other conversation I had about cricket before we move on. Is that unlike football, so international football, which is as boring as watching paint dry. Yeah. There's something to play for, right? You're playing for world ranking so that you get a seeding in a group so that you might make a tournament.
Yep.
In cricket, the top 8 nations or the top, test nations get into everything automatically. So there's nothing to play for except this ridiculous pride of we're number one test playing nation, which tomorrow you won't be because the South Africans will play another game against Zimbabwe, and there's nothing to play for in Test cricket.
Yeah,
and that's why they've been flogging the Ashes to death.
And I know they are talking about a Test ranking system so that you have to play each of the Test playing nations over a 4-year period.
Yeah,
so that the table rankings are representative of where you are, but it's still over a 4-year period.
Yeah, I just think it's ridiculous. I mean, they really need to go back to the drawing board with Test cricket and figure out what they want to do.
I think you're right, but I think it's a bigger topic. But I think the cricket doesn't end anymore because of the Northern Hemisphere and Southern Hemisphere summers. Yeah. It just seems like there's no actual break of cricket, that it's always there. Yeah, no,
it definitely does seem like that, and the players must find it relentless as well. Yeah. And they probably need to open up their squads. I think it's a topic for another day, but I think Australian cricket really needs to go back and take a proper look at itself, AFL style, drop that list and rebuild it, and just take the punishment, because you know what? At the end of the day, it doesn't mean anything to lose a couple of games. Yeah, it's a national sport. People will always support it here in Australia. Yeah,
exactly.
All right, moving on.
Moving on up. Probably you touched on AFL.
No. You're giving me nothing today.
I'm not giving you that. I don't know why.
So you've shit yourself for 2 days, and apparently you've shit out your sense of humour as well.
I've shit out my sense of humour. I've still got a sense of humour for funny things. Burn.
That scars deep.
You touched on AFL there, so I think we should talk about AFL. You've got the Bombers down here.
I do. I just wanted to mention that James Hird, we wrote last week in the 5 things we've learned that James Hird is walking the long green mile. Apparently that only takes a day. Yep. Because he got sacked the next day.
Yes.
Moved on, sorry. For the better of the club.
Yes.
The martyr that he is.
Yep.
And I think the players were always going to respond, and I think they responded admirably.
Admirably, yeah.
Thank you. Jeez, it's been a long day. Yeah, I just wanted to mention it, so I think hats off to them, and I think Essendon are in real trouble because they're going to have a lot of players leave at the end of the season.
Yeah, 20 players out of contract apparently.
And I think most of them are just going to say, you know what, enough is enough. But we'll see whether other clubs want to touch them or not. Mm. So that's all I wanted to mention. I think the good news and the nice story about the AFL at the weekend was the American Holmes playing for St Kilda in the Ruck.
Yes, yeah.
Jesus, that boy can leap.
I didn't see anything. I saw the story about it last week where he was scheduled to play. He was named then to play.
Yeah.
But,
and he comes from
first American
to play. Mason Cox is another guy who plays for Collingwood, but he hasn't played. He plays in the VFL. He hasn't played actual senior football. But this guy comes from really good stock. His dad was a basketballer. His brother is a basketballer. His other brother plays for the Oakland Raiders.
Wow.
He comes from good stock, and you know what? I watched him. He was good. I hope it just doesn't become a novelty like Magic Door. Yep. And he actually gets a chance to play a game because he looked the goods.
Yep.
And good luck to him. So I think it was nice to have a good news story in a
St Kilda.
St Kilda. Well, yeah. And big up to the Roos for beating Fremantle. Just a sneaky one in there.
You're not going to mention the 91-point thrashing that Richmond gave.
So moving on, Bournemouth in the Premier League, James.
Yes, they got their first win over a lackluster. Well, I wouldn't say lackluster West Ham, but it was certainly it was a game fought with defensive frailties. 4-3 to Bournemouth.
Yeah, hat-trick
to
Wilson.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
Wilson.
Wilson.
It's a well-researched show. This.
Yes, I know. I did have his name.
Moving on up.
But interesting thing now, Bournemouth have scored more goals than Man United in the Premier League.
Yeah, United look in real trouble, don't they? We'll get to that in a minute, but they look in real trouble. Well, they don't look in real trouble. They may be regretting a bit of a hasty departure of some of the other players.
Well, there's maybe 10 days of the transfer window left.
Yes, true.
A week.
So Eddie Howe quite happy with that.
You'd think so.
You would hope so. Yeah. It's nice. It's nice for Bournemouth.
And it was a away win as well. It was an away win.
Was it a away win?
Yeah.
Okay. No, I like it. I'm happy with that. I think it's.
I think they're going to be few and far between this year for Bournemouth. So it's good that they've.
Did you watch the United game?
I did.
It's fairly.
Well, I'll say I watched it. I watched the first half and I fell asleep.
The second half was 90% of just punishing. Yeah. But they just could not get that goal.
Yeah.
Just couldn't get it.
Yeah,
and it really and then they brought in Hernandez, who we'll come to that. We'll come to that. James, lead us on. Lead us on.
Well,
I'm very excited today. I'm excited to see you.
the next thing we've got is
nothing. I am getting nothing from you today.
I'm excited to see you too,
there
Andrew.
We go.
There you go.
Jesus.
But I'm passionate. I'm like about women's sport, and it's up again today. And every week there seems to be something in the news about women's sports and more derogatory comments. But the latest thing is women's sports sponsorship. Of the estimated $780 million that sponsors pour into the Australian sports market, only about 8% of that gets to the women's game.
I know.
Women's sports.
So I was listening to something the other day where the Australian Sports Commission has written to the ASX Top 100 and said to them, thank you so much for sponsoring sport in Australia. It's hugely important. We have corporate support. Pull your fingers out of your arse and support some women, please.
It needs to be done. It absolutely needs to be done. You're looking at 8% of 78 million is still 780 million is still 60 odd million.
Yeah, I mean it's a lot of money.
It's still a lot of money, but when it pales in comparison, when you see that some of the men's sports that are getting money, like you wouldn't even know about. They don't even make the news. But
you said last week that the Australian men's netball team get paid more than the females. As of last week, I didn't even know they existed.
Yeah, it's just absolutely shocking.
Yeah, I think it is ridiculous.
Yeah.
So we would like to see more money going into sport. And let's be honest, right now in Australia, the women are producing far better results.
I think it's the world over. There's a revolution in women's sport happening at the moment. Look, it is. Like I know people are saying that, but like the one of the most famous athletes in the world at the moment is a woman. It's Ronda Rousey from the UFC. Now she's making waves there. She's breaking down barriers and
she's breaking people's jaws is what she's doing.
She is, but she's starting to get the American corporate machine behind her.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's helping the revolution of women's sport and on the back of the Women's World Cup this year as well.
Yeah,
but you don't want it to be just die off at the end of the year, right? That's done and dusted. We're not going to see the Women's World Cup.
She's pretty impressive, though. She's an impressive specimen, like as a sporting person.
Yeah,
she
finishes her matches in 30 seconds flat.
Does she even why would you even bother warming up? Just go out, punch him in the face, and out you go. Yeah. Job done. She's pretty impressive, though. Yeah. I'm not a big fan of UFC. I don't really. It's not my thing. I don't see the appeal, but I don't like boxing that much either.
Yeah, I'm the same.
Unless you're getting, unless somebody's punching the crap out of Mayweather or
like Mayweather's
Mundine, who I dislike equally as much. I'm quite happy for them to cop one to the face.
Yeah, but it wouldn't be Mayweather because he just dances around.
No, he doesn't punch anyone.
Dances around for 30 minutes.
Pretty boy.
Yes.
Jumping across the pond, like really far across the pond to LA.
Yes.
We had the battle of the geriatrics.
Well, it wasn't really a battle, was it?
No, because only one of them played as well.
Lampard didn't play. Lampard was...
Look, I got excited when I was writing this run sheet and said, New York are playing LA. Mind you, New York got stuffed.
5-1.
Yeah.
Robbie Keane with a brace.
Jeez, he's good. He is your top... I reckon he'd still score goals in the Premier League if you brought him back.
He would.
United could get him for a song on loan. Just come in, couple of cheeky chips.
That's what you want.
I think he'd be fine.
Oh, look, he'd probably suit a Sunderland.
Sunderland.
They'd need.
So first person to be sacked this year looks like it's going to be Advocat.
It does.
He's already made an off.
Yeah, and he said he doesn't want to be there, and his wife doesn't want to be there. He didn't want the job, but he took it because the fan sent his wife flowers.
He's not happy about things, is he?
Well, they haven't given him any money to buy new players.
No.
And so...
Can I just jump back quickly? You mentioned West Ham, obviously, they lost to Bournemouth. Bilic has been there. This is his 5th red card since he's been in charge.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know how that works, because I thought he only came in at the end of last season.
Well, he came in the off-season, yeah.
But they must have had 5 red cards so far, including pre-season.
Yeah, well, they played a few Europa games, didn't they?
5 red cards. We're 3 games into a season, so maybe they've played, 7, 8 games?
Yeah.
And he's had a sending off in 5 of them. Now, I may have made that stat up, but I don't think I have. And if that's the case, what the hell are they doing?
just Eastern European style.
He looks angry, doesn't he, with the tie? Yeah.
You wouldn't mess with him.
God, you need to perk up. You're not giving me the love today. Perk. I want you to perk. Not your nipples, just perk.
Just perk up. All right.
I just feel like have you been drained? Have you been drained by the pooing?
I've been drained. I've got no energy. I've got nothing in me.
Nothing. I'm empty.
I feel like I've done 1,000 sit-ups. Like I ache.
Did it come out like Play-Doh when you were doing the sit-ups?
It wasn't even like it was wee out of my arse. Is what it was. It was liquid. That's all it was.
I've probably taken this too far. Yeah. James, tell me about the next one. I like the next one.
Well, you brought this to my attention.
I did. I think it's
today.
Great. I think it's fantastic.
In Daytona Beach, like when you think of Americans, you think of guns.
You do. I don't know why. I mean, it's a really thing that you generally wouldn't get that, would you?
No. But why they thought of giving Americans guns in the first place is beyond me.
Well, they have the right to bear arms back in the 1800s when they actually needed them.
Probably just bear arms.
Family Guy style.
Family Guy, just bear, they got it wrong.
You reckon they're going to get this? Sure, they'll understand.
But yeah, they've opened a gun range in Daytona Beach where they're going to sell alcohol.
I mean, I don't see a problem with this. I just can't see where this...
Alcohol and guns, not good. And Americans.
I can't see how this could go wrong.
It's not going to go wrong.
Reading into this story a little bit as well, don't even have breathalyzers. The staff are just going to make a judgment of whether you're intoxicated enough or not to shoot a gun.
And
how can it go wrong? I can't see any flaw in this plan.
And this comes from the same country that they have very relaxed drink driving laws in that they just make there's no
unless you're black. Unless you're black, because then you're dead. Yeah. They will shoot you in the face.
There's no RSA, so it's just like we'll keep serving you as long as you keep paying. And at the end of the night, we'll make a decision on whether you can have your car keys or not.
Yeah, but we've just made you drunk.
Yeah,
like we've sold you a bottle of Jack.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now the Americans are, let's be honest, generally as a race, they seem to be a race as a people. They're coming across as a bunch of morons.
Yeah, but people probably think the same about Australians when we've got Tony Abbott in charge. So
it's true. It's true. We have a potato as a prime minister.
Yes, we've somehow elected. But like, let's sticking with America and the big thing. He's back. Munchie Watch is back. If anyone remembers our very first incarnation of this podcast,
and it was awful.
It was awful. It was years ago,
and I blame Phil and BK for that. Hello, boys.
I don't blame them. I don't blame them.
I just want to give them a mention.
They're missed components of the team.
They are.
We would like them involved more, if at all. We would like them involved.
At all.
We would like them involved. I think
all right, keep going. We're behind.
Munchie Legault.
Yes.
Is back. Cincinnati Bearcats.
QB for the Cincinnati Bearcats.
Yeah,
Munchie Legault, the best name in sports.
Best name. And the last time we featured him, which we apologise for profusely. And
we did tweet him this as well. We did apologise over a tweet.
Yeah, we mentioned him. We said we're going to do a Munchie Watch because we're going to follow him through the whole season. And in his first game, he snapped his leg and has been out for the last 18 months.
Well, yeah, we jumped on him and 2 days later, leg broken. So...
but we should have probably... We did say we were going to do the Munchie Watch that we had, and we didn't. We let you down, Munchie. We're sorry, but now you're back.
Well, he went quiet as well. He went off. He went off the social media. We can't keep track of Legault if he doesn't give us something.
Yeah, but we're back, effort. Munchie. We're all on you, Munchie.
Yeah, sorry, Paul.
Yeah, we need Munchie up there now.
Okay.
Munchie's the newest member.
Okay.
Get out, Paul.
All right. Munchie Legault, you're back. Welcome, buddy. Cincinnati Bearcats. Go Bearcats.
Go Bearcats. We're running way behind.
We are. It doesn't matter. We're all right. We'll make it up.
Andy.
Yes.
What's the time?
7:39.
You know what I mean.
Yeah, I do.
I do. Yeah.
It's time for Clown of the Week. I'm not singing it today. I'm going Eastern European.
I think...
Okay, I'll do it properly.
That was more German.
Okay.
It's
time for Clown of the Week.
Good.
Better
than last week.
All right, go. You go yours first. I loved when I sent this to you because I knew it was going to make you angry.
I was angry.
Didn't take long. The anger was there.
I don't know whether the clown should be Graham Corns or Adelaide Now, whatever it is, the Adelaide Advertiser, for giving him a platform? A platform to have his views. So Graham Corns is a former Adelaide Crows coach, and he wrote an article for Adelaide Now, or whatever it is, the Adelaide Advertiser, on women's AFL last week, and basically it was just full of misogynistic quotes. It's all it was.
His headline was "It doesn't look right to me."
It doesn't look right to me. And then the first line was, "What about their boobs?"
Yeah, the man's an idiot,
and he didn't like the fact that they were wearing the men's uniforms. He wanted them to wear a woman's uniform.
Was it Sepp Blatter all over again who said that women should wear short shorts?
And it was just full of just misogyny and just narrow-minded,
you know what,
pig-headedness. I just couldn't.
I'm not even doing another Clown of the Week.
It's just,
I'm not even going to mention it.
But my issue with he's an old bloke who's trying to get a bit of attention. He's like, look, but the Adelaide Advertiser, who gave him that platform, but not only that, posted it to their Facebook page, and then their first article after they posted that was calling out Sam Newman for being a misogynist on the footy show.
The sub-editors and the editors here have really made a spectacular balls up.
And it was just like,
You're an idiot.
Yeah. So I think it's a joint one between Graham Corns and
the
Adelaide.
Is it the Adelaide Advertiser?
Adelaide Advertiser,
whatever the Adelaide paper is. So I'm not even going to go into the second one. We're just going to give it to him.
Just give it to him.
Just give it to him. So Graham Corns, welcome to the club. You are our clown of the week, and quite possibly our biggest clown ever.
Like when we do our Christmas special episode, where we look back at the clowns of the year, we decide who the clown of the year is. You're going to take some beating. I'll be honest.
All right, James.
Yes.
5 things we've
learned. Yes, you wrote this for us on Monday.
I hope you've read it.
I have read it.
Good, because you're going to read them out now, or you're going to talk about them.
Yes. Man United. You say Man United.
Wait. Number one.
Man United need a striker. I kind of disagree with you. Okay. I think that I can see where
this isn't really helping the segment, because I write this as a team, this is as a sporting man team, this is what we and you've just gone against it in the first second. Jesus Christ, man! It's
a discussion. Okay. That's what we want to do. We want to promote discussion. This is why we want the viewers and the listeners involved to promote discussion. Okay. We don't always have to agree. Man United need a new striker. There's Wayne Rooney's misfiring. He's not scoring goals. None of the other strikers are scoring goals either. But Van Gaal hasn't used all his options. He's still got James Wilson there. He needs to utilise Hernandez more than in just a
But he doesn't look
like he
wants
role.
To be there.
It's because Van Gaal has made it clear he doesn't want him there. But it's like, well, look, you use the guys you've got. Use Memphis as a striker. He can play as a striker. You've got so many attacking midfielders there. You don't have to try and fit all 5 of them into the midfield.
Yep.
Put one of them up front. And
so we'll see what happens in the next 10 days, though.
Well, yeah, this thing is 7 days, because I think the English transfer window closes early because of the Champions League.
Okay. Number 2.
Number 2 is AFL being as unpredictable as ever.
Yes.
Due to the format of the draw. I liked it. We spoke about it earlier on in the year. I liked the 6-6-6.
Yeah, and it's working beautifully.
And it is because, and it's the everyone expected Port to be finals contenders this year,
sure.
And because of where they were last year, they had such a tough draw where they played all the top 6 twice.
They couldn't pull it together.
They haven't been able to, and then you've seen other teams benefit from it. North Melbourne benefiting from it, sneaking into the finals in the last couple of weeks. Richmond benefiting from it, having a much easier draw this year.
Sneaking into the finals.
Sneaking into the finals last few weeks. But then you see that the cream is still rising to the top with Hawthorn and Fremantle, who had the harder draws and are still there. So it's
Number 3.
Again, I have to disagree with you with this one. But
I'm going for this one.
You put this one is no one cares about athletics outside of the Olympics.
Yeah,
and I think people do care, but it's because the media perception is that there's very little media coverage of the World Athletics that's currently happening in Beijing.
Yeah, so look, when I say no one cares, obviously there's a hardcore bunch of fans and there's a general sports enthusiast, including us, who do watch it. But nobody generally gets into it like the Olympics, where people sit down and watch it. Yeah. The only thing that people were going to watch at the weekend was Usain Bolt beat a drug cheat.
Yes,
which thank Christ he did, because otherwise their sport was completely ruined.
He looked like he eased off at the end because he didn't want to beat him by so much. He was like, just beat him by a little bit.
Number 4.
We've got Quade's inclusion in the Australian World Cup squad.
Yeah,
as you said, he must have some kind of photos of some upper management in some quite precarious positions.
There is some coke and some hookers and a Shetland pony, because I can't figure out how that boy gets a place on the team.
Well, as you alluded to, he's not done much 4 years ago. He's not done much in the last 4 years at all.
No,
and yeah, there's not much more we can say.
Number 5.
You've got it up there.
I do, because I knew you couldn't remember it. We learned nothing from the Ashes this year. We've already spoken about this, so we'll gloss over it. But too many series, too close together. It's lost its shine. It's lost its luster. We'll wait for it to come back in 2.5 years' time and see if it's reinvigorated and the teams are reinvigorated.
Yeah, I think so.
I think that's probably the only thing we can say about that. All right. Where are we up to? Hold on. Where are we up to?
Viral stories of the week.
Yeah, there wasn't too much about this week. I mean, there's a couple of things, but not much.
There was a couple. There was that kid that ran onto the rugby pitch. There was a video that was doing the rounds. A kid ran onto the rugby pitch, picked up the ball, and
he made a fairly good streak at it, didn't he?
Yeah.
I mean, he wasn't naked, but
he scored a try, and he said he was just looking for his mum, and he ended up on the pitch. So don't know what happened there.
So he doesn't get the $7,000 fine. That's what that is.
My favourite one was, which kind of got glossed over a little bit and lost, was in the cricket series between South Africa and New Zealand, where Usain bowled an absolute screamer.
Yeah, he looked
straight
angry
down.
throwing it, didn't
Yeah.
he? He's an angry-looking man.
And just smashed the wicket in half.
Yeah, I saw
just
that.
Absolutely cracked it.
Yeah, we'll repost that one because that's where they know the look.
Yeah,
because he looked angry.
He looked like
there was terror in those eyes.
And no, the batsman, I'm not sure who it was. I think it was might have been
No idea.
No, I'm not even going to speculate. But he just stepped out the way. And I wouldn't want to put yourself in front of that. And he was like, wicket's gone. Yeah, I'm done.
Thanks very much.
Yeah.
I'll see you next week.
I think if he put the bat in front of that, they would just smash the bat in half as well.
My favourite would be Stevie J in the AFL for Geelong hitting an umpire in the face with a ball, and that's not the kind of bit, although that's quite funny.
Probably got reported for it, did he?
No, he didn't because it was accidental. But the umpire, like a champ, didn't even flinch. Got a Sharon full in the face and didn't even flinch. Managed to squiggle back into the middle of the goal and give it the two thumbs up.
Yeah, this is how big my dick is.
He gave it the full lot.
Good stuff.
And I'm pretty impressed by his effort. All right. What are you looking forward to, James? What are you looking forward to?
Well, I've got on there transfer deadline day. I look forward to it every year, and every year it seems to be getting a bigger and bigger disappointment.
Yeah.
There still seem to be a lot of moves that could potentially happen this year, so I'm hoping something will happen.
Yep.
And I'm hoping that it's some excitement, but I'm hoping that it won't end up being transfer deadline day. I hope that moves will happen beforehand.
No, you got to sit there and watch the Twitter
What's
feed
the clock?
at 12 o'clock.
What about you?
Look, I can't go past the AFL just purely from a selfish point of view. I didn't look too much wider. North are playing Bulldogs.
Yep.
It's a clash of two good teams, and it's going to dictate who finishes kind of 5th or 6th in the league.
Yep.
And I'm just excited. I'm going to the game. I'm going to be up and about, and I'm generally excited about it.
Cool. Awesome. Well, that's it. That's another episode done.
No, it's not.
No?
No.
We're not done?
We're not done. Now, in your shitting state, have you had a chance to update the EPL, the Fantasy League?
The Fantasy League?
Yeah.
So the tables were updated about lunchtime today.
Yeah.
I've not posted the latest update.
Who's winning?
So I can have a quick look.
All right, well, I'll fill in time.
You fill in time with some music, maybe.
No. This episode is brought to you by Jim's Beard Oil. If it ain't Jim's, or if it ain't greasy, it ain't Jim's. That
Nice.
was a balls up.
You've ballsed up out of first and
So
only
I will say that
advertiser.
I want one only sponsor. Sorry, Jim. I will say that we're going to start something. We won't do it now because we don't have too much time. But keep an eye out on social media, guys. We are going to look for the greatest haircut in amateur sport. We're putting the call out, James.
Okay.
We're putting the call out. What do you mean, okay? You knew about this. I told you.
I did know about it.
Jesus, you were making me look like a fool. A fool, I tell you.
What are you going? Where are we going with this now?
We're looking for the greatest hair. It's basically based on your man bun. I want to see, and I'm not talking just man buns. I'm talking anything here.
Well, it's open to men's and women's
Oh,
sports.
yeah, across the board. But if it's women's, I just don't want like a nice haircut. I want something zany. We will make a judgment at the end of this year.
I kind of want to see someone with a rat's tail, like a Roberto Baggio.
That's fine. If it's
Some
out there.
tram lines. Remember those? They were big in the 90s.
Nice. So if it's out there, we want. There's going to be a hashtag called SC Haircut. So Sports Cooler Haircut. So SC Haircut on Twitter. We'll get it out on Facebook as well. But tell your friends, tell your family. We're looking for.
Oh, Christ, I'm doing awful in the sports.
We're looking anyway. We're looking for the greatest haircut. James, very quickly. Who is so we can get on with this? Who's winning?
Right, Joe Hale is back on top of our.
Freeman's down. Freeman's in second.
Joe Hale, Sports Billy. He's a Sporting Mad contributor. He's romping away at the moment.
John Freeman.
167.
After your eagerness to get out there, you're not looking so good.
John Freeman's
dropped
down. Like I'm down in 16th place on 112 points.
We've got 15 seconds. Visit us on Twitter, on social media.
Sporting Mad AU. Facebook is Sporting Mad. SportingMad.com.au.
There you go. Thank you very much, folks. I'm Andy Hayes.
I'm James Blackwell.
And you've been watching The Sports Cooler.
Done.